This week I took 3 trades on gold, 1 gainer, 2 losses, but I'm going to show you in this video why managing your risk is going to be key for you in order to maintain those profits. And then also I'm going to share my game plan for the upcoming week, showing you entries, exits, and profit targets for next week. So if we look at the chart right here, I took a buy somewhere in here and then rode it up to about here. So that was a monster trade and obviously amazing. And then I tried to continue the buys later in the week. So I tried to take a buy somewhere in here on this engulfing candle, I believe, and price did not cooperate. So ended up with a loss there. And then also same thing here, another bullish engulfing, did not work out in this situation. Now I understand why, but this also goes to show you that if you can just maintain your risk level and have small losses, then you can end up the week overall profitable. And that's what happened with me this past week. So now let's talk about my game plan for the upcoming week and my bias and everything that I'll be looking for inside of the markets. So let's just go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, great. So now that my chart is a little bit cleaner, let's go ahead and go on the weekly time frame. And since we already came up with levels for last week, we're just going to make some minor adjustments based on new data that has formed this week inside of the market. Okay, so we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that this candle closed a doji bearish candle. So that means that there may be a deeper retracement coming for the upcoming week, but we don't always know that. So we just have to plan for whatever the market gives us for this week. So if we look at the levels, there was a projection, actually 2 projection levels that I had on this time frame at 34.04 and then also 34.64. And as you can see, price just blazed through both of those levels. If you are tired of missing out on gold, in this blueprint, you're going to get an easy to follow profitable gold trading table, as well as profitable entry levels and strategies. If you've tried to decode things like FOMC, geopolitical events, you may have tried without much success. And in this blueprint, you're also going to master simple strategies that the big players like banks and institutions follow, and then also be able to spot profitable opportunities so that way you could avoid some of the common traps that other traders fall into. And then of course, you're going to save hours of research with a clear and actionable plan inside of the gold market. Just take a look at what some people are saying about this. So go ahead and grab your copy of the Profitable Gold Market Blueprint today. And ended up making a high this week at 3,500 flat, which is amazing. So the projection levels that I had were obviously correct because we see it here on the chart. So one of the things that I'm going to do is actually just take this level and just move it up to the very top of this market here. Now it's sitting at 3,500 flat. And this level, I'll probably just keep it unless I see something on a lower time frame that I want to change. So far, this is looking good. I actually want to move this down just a little bit so that way price is tapping the top of this candle right here. And let me just look at my other levels and just make sure that they look good. All right, cool. So everything down here is fine. Nothing should really change down here because price was mostly around this level here. So let's go ahead and go to the daily time frame. Okay, so now we have a bit more data on this time frame. Let's just make it a bit bigger. All right, so we can see a lot of consolidation, especially around this level of 32.92. So looking at these levels once again, I do see some rejections here. So I may just want to move this up just a hair. Width of this level is touching the top of this candle right here, and it's mainly due to this being the average wick here on the daily time frame, and we may adjust as we go down. So this is now sitting around 33.62 if we're looking at the average of this level. This is still looking good, looks great. Okay, and of course, like I said, nothing down here should really change, but we still want to look anyway. Let's go down to the H4 time frame. Okay, so now if we move these candles like this, we can see a lot more now. So I love this now. Okay, this is still looking good. I actually want to move this up now because now I see a clear resistance level, and this is now sitting at 3181.50. And then I have these minor levels. I think for now, I'm just going to get rid of these. I'm just going to make fresh levels. We may have to look at this on a lower time frame. So far, this is actually looking pretty okay. See, I'm going to move this down for right now to 3280.48 if you just want that on there. This is still looking good. Probably not going to change anything below there. We're just focused on where price action really is at the moment. So let's go down to the H2 time frame. Okay, so looking at this, trying to see if there's something that I want to adjust. So this is actually looking really good. I actually want to move this to be more in alignment with this support level right there, because this made a new it's kind of like a lower high. But anyway, so right here, this is now sitting at 3276. And as you can see, we probably need to add some levels in here because there is a lot of consolidation. Price has come up to this zone multiple times. You can see that I actually have an alert there. So let's go ahead and mark this off. So I'm going to mark this off at, let me make this adjustment. Okay, so this is now marked off at 3357. This is obviously a clear level of rejection. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a rejection because it came up and then it came back down. So it tested this area, but then it came back down and continued to sell off. So that's a good level. I like this level. This is going to stay the same. And then up here, if we just wanted to add another level in here, I am seeing a nice level here at 3447.68. So that's a nice support level. So let's go ahead and go down to the H1 time frame right before we get into our game plan for this upcoming week. So now that we got more candles, let me squeeze these in and scoot over. Okay, great. So starting from the top, still looks great. This level, I do want to adjust it. So now this is sitting at 3444. There's a lot of fours in that. So that's looking good. This level, do I want to move it? I think I want to move it up. Let me see. But then we have a lot of exhaustion there. So let's just place this level now at 3408.50. And this level is still looking good to me as far as a key level. And then we have this level of rejection. Now we have a lot more data inside of here, and you can see the rejection zones a lot more clearly. And now I see where I could have taken a sell instead of a buy when I was trading in this zone. And okay, cool. So there is another level that I'm going to add. I'm just going to use a box, but I'm going to add a level right. Oops, I need to change my color. Template, yellow, rectangle. Okay, so this level right here, I did want to add the support because price is currently at this level. So it'll be interesting to see what price does when the market opens back up. And then we also have this really nice level of support. Our price bounced off of this zone multiple times here and here. And then let's just say if we wanted to, for some reason, drag this over, then we could see, what price did in this level over here. Not really telling me too much, but I'm just gonna move that back just so I can focus on this zone right here, because we definitely have a lot of rejection wicks in this zone, and the current candle is currently right there. So that's looking good. Okay, cool. So as far as my game plan for the upcoming week, I am still bullish on this market, although we are seeing a very, very steep retracement inside of this market. And I want to find areas that are going to be safe and easy for me to trade from. So earlier, like I talked about, I tried to take trades here and price kept selling off at these levels right here. So let me just mark these off. Okay, cool. So now price is currently right above this zone with this really strong bullish candle. So let's just say if price was to continue this bullish momentum, I would wait for maybe some sort of break and retest or something that gave me confidence to at least take the trade up to here. This is what I was trying to do this past week. That was my trading idea in that moment, but it just didn't work out. But this is almost 400 pips right here. So this could be a nice trading idea, and the fact that price rejected here multiple times could be my signal for me to get out at this level. But let's just say that for some reason, if price gets past all of this, I mean, I could continue to hold the trade from here to up here. I would actually be very cautious around this area just because, like I said, my experience this past week and just seeing the candles now with a lot clearer vision. And then I would want to continue this move up to this level and then just continue to follow the price action back up. And this is actually a really interesting level, because if we looked at this zone here, we could see that there's a lot of exhaustion in this area, but then price came up and then it came back down, respecting this level and then pushing up, which is why I'm really interested in continued buys on this market. But let's just say if for whatever reason price came to this level, and let me extend this a bit, it came to this level and decided to sell off. So what I would be looking for then would be for price to come to this zone, and somewhere in here look for a sell down to here, and then continuing that sell right here. So this is a very tricky area, mainly because you could either buy on one end or sell on the other end. So that's what I would be looking for. But let's just say if price broke this really strong area, then I would be looking for continued sells in this market to right here and then to right here. So I noticed that I've just been saying right here and right here. So let me go ahead and call out these values really quick. So starting, I've created another community here on School called Consistent Profitable Traders. And if you want to join, you can go to school.com/traders in order to join this free membership. I have a number of things here inside of the community. You can see that the community is growing. There are people being added almost every single day. And then inside of the classroom, I do have some things here. I'm constantly adding new things, new resources for new traders. And if you go over to the calendar, then you'll see that I have a monthly call with everybody inside of this group. So if you want to join this community, go ahead and go to school.com/traders, and I'll see you there. At this point where price currently is, so I would take it from about 33.14 all the way up to 33.58, and then being careful in this area, going from 33.58 all the way up to 33.82. And then if price gave me signs and wonders in real time that it wanted to continue to push up, and then I would go from this 33.82 area and then go all the way up here to 34.07. And then let's just say for whatever reason, if I wanted to take a short on this market, I would see what price was doing at this really strong resistance. And then if I got a signal to take a short, then I would take the short from 33.58. First target being 33.13, and then second target being 32.77. And then I wouldn't trade in this zone just because price rejected multiple times from this level. So it tells me that it's a lot of buying pressure in the zone. So let's just say that if price was to break and close somewhere below this level, so that short idea would be at 32.60, and then targeting this area of 32.42 is not that big of a zone. So if it fits within your trading plan, go ahead and do it. So this is about 185 pips. I'm cool with that. And then the next target would be around 31.97. So that would be my second idea. And then of course, I would just continue to track price and then also paying attention to these rejection areas over here. So this is my idea for this upcoming week. If you found this helpful and if this video made it easy for you to chart, then go ahead, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and then comment the word focus in the comment section below, just so that way I know that you made it all the way to the end of this video and that you are serious about your trading. So I'll see you next week.